John from FlatCatGear. So when you get the Ocelot HX Kit, what you get is this plate. What you'll have to purchase on your own is a stove and a mug. So let's talk about the plate pretty quickly. The plate has two sides. There's going to be an A side and a B side. And the sides are going to be dependent upon what type of HX pot you're using. You want to check the orientation, make sure you mount it the right way. So take a look at the bottom of your fins of your pot and just verify that the plate sits in there nice and firm. You can see when you put it the other way, it doesn't fit. And like I said, we support 4 different HX pots at this time. So this is the correct orientation. So I want to make sure that this is pointing upwards. The stove we're using in this kit is the Fire Maple 300. Now, it's also been called the Gnat and the Wasp and a couple of other things. In addition, they sell these under different names. They sell them to other stove manufacturers and they relabel them. The key to this stove configuration, as you take a look at it, is there are 2 brass nuts on the stove. That's going to be the key. And so you can see there's other configurations. There's the Robbins Fire Midge, there's the Olecamp Ion, and even Vargo has a version of it. Now, this is a DIY kit, and you do have to take the stove apart. It looks a little intimidating, but it's not. It's actually not that bad. So you will need a wrench, and the first thing you do is you loosen the bottom nut next to, this is the valve body. So give it a little twist and loosen that. And that bottom nut, that just keeps the valve body attached. So now you can untwist the valve body, and that will come off. And take the bottom nut off. And then you'll have to take a wrench and loosen the top nut. And now the support arms will just come off. And essentially what you're left with is the stove body and the valve. Those are really the 2 critical parts you need. Take the stove. Now remember, we had the stove, we had the orientation, so this side is up. So you drop the burner head through that stove plate, flip it over, and add the nut. Now how I like to use this is I'm just going to tighten this, snug this all up real tight, because I keep it as an assembled unit. So now I've got that top nut on. Now I'm going to add the second nut loosely. And you just need to get it past the bottom of the stove there, because it's a double nutting. It's a way to keep the stove valve body locked on. So now the stove valve body gets spun on. And then you tighten the nut back down. On the stove body. And that's all there is to it. Now I keep this as a complete assembly, and it is designed that it will nest inside your mug, and there's some space to put things. Now, the number of people have been wanting to say, well, I'll just take the nuts off and take everything apart and pack it, and it's compact. And you can do that, but there's a risk of losing one of the nuts. So you can do it if the space is tight and you're very careful making sure that you keep all the nuts and attach them firmly. But in general, I recommend that you just tighten all these nuts and keep this as an assembly. So come visit us at www.flatcatgear.com.